Lately, more of us are beefing up our cake stash as we get more and more into the art of cake decorating, but those baking supplies can be tricky to store. So whether you are an avid baker or just starting to dabble, it won't take long to reclaim your kitchen space, with some quick and easy solutions. Cake baker Emily Friend joining me with her organizational hacks for your cake decorating supplies. Emily, it's so great to meet you. How long have you been in the cake space?
Hi, about 10 years.
10 years, this is your thing, you love it.
I do, yes.
Has it been exciting to see the rest of the world kind of catch on to the wave? Cake making is kind of the art right now. It's the hobby we all love to love.
Absolutely, yes. It's really exploded in the last few years. It's fun to see tons of new ideas and recipes popping up everywhere.
Well, today you're going to share how you organize all of those supplies, because I know it's a hobby that kind of becomes addictive, right? You need this piping tip or you need this cake comb. Do you find that if you're well organized, it does help streamline your baking?
Yes, definitely. My first cake decorating space in my home was in a tiny 600 square foot apartment in Los Angeles. And I just had a table set up right in the middle of the apartment. So staying organized was key because as you mentioned, you accumulate more and more things. Right. And if you have everything everywhere, it takes 10 times as long to get anything done.
10 times as long. And I imagine it's more enjoyable, right? When you know where that particular, piping tip is. It's just more fun, right? When you're organized.
Yes, baking, cake decorating, it's very therapeutic, and it's nice to be able to focus on how fun it is rather than getting frustrated because you can't find your tools.
Yes, you've got 5 systems to share with us. First, let's start with the food coloring. This can be a very colorful mess, right? If not done right. What's your tip for storing your food coloring bottles?
Okay, so this is what not to do. This is what I had been doing for about 5 years. I had all of my colors in a box and they fall over, they leak. Every time you try and get one out, you stain your hands. Right. That gets onto your clothes and your setup. So instead, a much easier way to organize them, I found this just on Amazon, and it's a case that's actually intended for storing nail polish, but it's perfect because the compartments are exactly the right size for these little bottles of gel colors. So you can see exactly what you have, and they all stand upright. They don't spill over. I've been using this box for about a year, and you can see everything is still perfectly clean.
Beautiful. I love when we find a new use for an item, right? Nail polish, sure, but also for your food coloring.
Yes. I like to organize them in rainbow order just so I can find the color I'm looking for. That's obviously optional, but yes, this keeps things really organized.
That's a fun topic tangent all on its own, right? The way we rainbowify everything. Talk to me about your cake combs. How are you storing those?
Cake combs, this is a really fun one. So you can just have them all in a box, but it's really difficult to find the one you're looking for. So I found this, it's a divider for pots and pan lids or for Tupperware lids or for cutting boards, but it fits the cake combs in perfectly. And then you can organize them. So I have plastic, acrylic, metal, and then I have my smooth ones, my textured ones, so you can see exactly what you have.
Listen, I don't even make or decorate cakes, and I want to come hang out in your very well-organized cake kitchen. That's brilliant. That's so smart. What about organizing the cake stencils?
Stencils. So stencils, if you've used them, you'll know they're really tiny, but they're also another one of those addictive cake decorating tools. So you end up with lots of them. And if you have them in a Tupperware or some sort of box, they'll end up exploding out.
Well, and they're flimsy, right, too? They're very lightweight and kind of floppable.
They are, and it's difficult to see the one that you're looking for. Yeah. So I put all of mine in these folders with these plastic pockets, and then you can just page through them really easily. You can see exactly what you have, and then you just pull them out the top. So it keeps them nice and organized.
It becomes a very artsy experience. You're just paging through, leafing through your album saying, what stencil shall I use today? I love it. I love it. All right, I hear you have a hack for stacking your cake pans nicely. And I joke about not being a cake maker, cake baker, but I do have even a little cache of cake pans. So tell me how you do this.
Yes. Okay, so typically people will choose all of the pans of the same size and stack them on top of each other.
That's what I do.
Right. Okay. But it's an unstable tower. It's very wobbly. If you open your cabinet doors, they'll probably all topple out.
And that's what happens.
And,
you're speaking my life.
Exactly. But it also takes up a lot of space if you have them all laid out like this. So a really easy alternative to take up less space and to make it more stable is when you're organizing your cake pans, start with the biggest one and then get smaller and smaller as you go in. Then do exactly the same, but layering them. So always with the biggest first, then the smaller one, and you'll find that the smaller ones are supporting the top ones, so it makes, even if I wobble it,
there you go.
Hopefully it's not going to topple over. It's much more stable, and it takes up a lot less space.
Yeah, still stacked, but more stable. All right.
Exactly.
A cupboard makeover is coming to a kitchen near me. Great idea. Finally, our piping tips. I reference this because they're so little and those bits can be hard to keep track of. What do you do?
Yes. So I use a little craft box. You can buy these in craft stores. You could use like a fishing supply box or fishing tackle box or one of these little drawer units. And then you just have different compartments for each type of tip. I just cut the lid off this craft box because I don't need the lid, so it keeps everything really visible. And then you can organize them. So I have my circular tips, my star tips, petal tips, and you can see exactly what you have. And it's really easy to find them.
What a happy, very thoughtful space. And I know you are decorating at a level that's above most of us, but I think, again, for the everyday kitchen hobbyist who's trying to pick this up, these are great solutions and really inspiring us to think outside of the box for all of our kitchen tools. Emily, thank you so much. Where can we get more recipes and ideas from you?
I have a website, britishgirlbakes.com, and then Instagram, YouTube. I have lots of tips and tutorials, also British Girl Bakes.
British Girl Bakes. Thanks so much for sharing and inspiring us today.